Apple researchers now raising red flags.
Apple is now lagging behind when it comes to artificial intelligence.
This is Apple's second year playing catch up to the AI industry, and it's not going so well.
While the world raced into the future, Apple stood still. From the company that made Think Different a religion, why is Apple playing it safe in the most dangerous moment in tech history? 2011. It is that easy. 2025. It's not addressing AI. The company that taught us to talk to our phones is suddenly speechless.
Elephant in the room, it's not addressing AI.
Apple's stock has dropped 20%, its worst tumble in a decade. As Google, Microsoft and OpenAI redefine the tech landscape, Apple is left defending a walled garden with no AI inside. This was the spark. Siri wasn't just a feature, it was Steve Jobs' last moonshot. He saw Siri demoed as a separate app before Apple acquired the company, and was just kind of blown away by what Siri could do. But 15 years after it launched, the voice assistant still mishears things, misses context, and now the rollout of a new and improved Siri has been delayed. And last year, the tech giant introduced Apple Intelligence, but critics say Apple has not evolved to meet the new AI standards set by OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, or Amazon's Alexa.
And the biggest thing is they were blindsided when generative AI with ChatGPT and GitHub launched back in 2022, November 2022. I'm told Apple Intelligence wasn't even an idea.
Siri stayed the same while Alexa learned 100,000 skills. The brutal truth, Siri isn't AI, it's a glorified search shortcut. And when ChatGPT exploded in 2022, Apple had no answer. You had ChatGPT, you had Anthropic's Claude, and so many other of these artificial intelligence products coming out there outside of Apple's ecosystem, and Apple still hasn't been able to catch up. To build serious AI, you need three things: hyperscale compute, oceans of user data, and powerful in-house models. Apple has none.
Without a public cloud infrastructure, they don't have the partner ecosystem for R&D and implementation that the others do.
No hyperscaler, no AI cloud. And when it launched Apple Intelligence, hallucinations, bugs, reliance on OpenAI behind the curtain.
Apple devices are dumb. Siri is clueless and doesn't work.
Not just that, Apple researchers are now raising red flags that may be hard for the AI trade to ignore in a new paper.
Apple scientists, they're now saying that beyond a certain point, it just doesn't work. Not only do these models struggle with harder problems, but they actually get worse as the task gets more complex.
Some see this as Apple moving the goalposts, shifting the conversation because it's late to AI. But similar findings are coming from other labs too, including Anthropic and Leap, a Chinese AI research group. Apple has spent years prioritizing privacy. That means it has not collected the same volume of user data needed to train powerful AI models. It's a strategy that builds brand trust, but limits flexibility.
They've always had to kind of balance the privacy of its users versus the latest and greatest features. And when it comes to AI, we can see the disadvantage.
Privacy. Apple's greatest strength is becoming its biggest AI liability. You can't train tomorrow's brains on yesterday's diet. Google has 6.9 billion daily searches, Gmail and YouTube data. Meta has 3 billion daily posts. OpenAI is feeding on Twitter and Reddit. Apple's scraping blogs and press releases like a Michelin chef cooking with canned beans. Wall Street is waking up. Microsoft is pumping $50 billion a year into AI. Apple, less than half, and it shows. Apple is seemingly in no rush on artificial intelligence. At WWDC 2025, they unveiled a series of upgrades that were more incremental than revolutionary, focusing on tools to help with everyday life, which included live translation of phone calls and messages. Apple failed to live up to its promises, most notably delaying that big artificial intelligence update to Siri. Analysts have been reacting, and it's not pretty. UBS is saying more evolutionary than revolutionary. Wells Fargo. We think investors will still need to hear and see more. Zuckerberg has Ray-Ban AI glasses, Google has Project Astra, Microsoft has Copilot in everything. Apple, still demoing Siri. Apple still has 2.4 billion iOS devices, that's the golden goose, but they're watching the AI party from the hotel lobby. This is the fourth industrial revolution. Bet big or become the next Nokia. Apple once told the world to think different. Now it must act different before it's too late. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.